Welcome, and thanks for joining me for Pathfinder Kingmaker. We're back down here in the Tenebris Depths, about to face off with the Spawn of Rovagug. Whatever that's going to be. Sounds disgusting. I'm sure it is. We got everybody all buffed up here before we entered this portal, because I have no idea if it's going to drop us right into a fight, or if we're going to have like a whole level to go through here, or what. Last time we killed the captive and captor and went up and talked to our dragon buddy who opened this portal for us down here. Looks like a mess. Oh yeah, okay. I'm glad we buffed up before this. Oh boy. I wonder if he can see us. Oh, he's got multiple mouths, multiple eyes. Legendary proportions. Cain needs that. Then we have a giant Cain versus a giant disgusting beast. Jeez. Oh, he's got friends too. Parasites. Oh, great. Well, we'll hope that they're not magic resistant. They've got plenty of HP themselves. 263 HP on the parasites. And there goes our healing. Okay. Well, I don't think there's any way we're going to be able to do this. Wow. He just brought in more parasites. So I don't see this. I don't see us doing this. I think we at least need another level before we come back down here. We're going to call it there. It's not happening. We're back in our throne room, and we've got a visitor here. Varask. This is one of our artisans. The half-orc bows diligently, trying to adhere to etiquette. Your Highness, I come bearing gifts, a sign of my gratitude for taking an old man into your service. We did build a bunch of the workshops that we needed to for some of the craftsmen and artisans waiting for us to give them a place to work, including Varask here. With such weapons, you can go on raids and protect your lands. Everything has been tempered into lamb blood with proper prayers to all the proper gods. Everything is done with care for you personally. Trickster's gloves. Okay, keep at it, Varask. Gladly, when a weapon or armor is made for a good fight, the work does itself, and I know that many great fights await you. And this is another one of them. Sartain. Wait, no, this is... Oh, Nazriel is the artisan. This must be like her assistant or something. A pathetic-looking elf stands before you. His clothes are wrinkled, his cheek is scratched, and his nose is swollen like he suffered a heavy blow. He glances around with a haunted look and bows. My name is Sartain. Mistress Nazriel was supposed to have given me a gift for your highness, but I'm afraid we might have a bit of a problem here. Mistress Nazriel has been working hard on a special gift for you, but one of her apprentices, Detal, went mad after he touched the blade that was meant to be presented to you. He grabbed it and just ran off as fast as he could. I saw it with my own eyes. Now Detal is missing. I've come to you in secret to ask for your help. Maybe you or one of your advisors could get to the bottom of this. My mistress would rather see the whole thing buried. After all, the sword that drove him mad was meant for you. Okay. Who are you? The elf eyes you in astonishment. Me, I'm Sartain, assistant and servant of Mistress Nazriel. She teaches me her craft. I've been dreaming of becoming a weaponsmith ever since I was a child. My father was a master too. His swords were famous. Unfortunately, he went bankrupt while I was still too young to learn. He withered away and never got to teach me his skills, but the mistress gave me another chance. Tell me about Nazriel. The elf's enthusiasm is almost pathetic. I'm Mistress Nazriel's assistant. It's a great honor. She is a genius. Her knowledge of weapons knows no bounds, although it's scary sometimes, you know. Anyway, I'm not complaining. I'm happy to serve her. Does Nazriel mistreat you? The elf throws up his hands in fear. Not at all. She's the most magnificent weaponsmith I've ever met in my entire life. I'm lucky she even noticed me, but she's made me so happy. I wish I weren't so stupid and clumsy or I'd be more worthy to help her, but I try as hard as I can. So what's this gift? Sartain shrugs. I don't know. The mistress said I couldn't touch it, but I heard her ask Daitel to take it to you. Okay, I'll see what I can do. Same guy. On behalf of Mistress Nazriel, I would like to wish you eternal health and express our gratitude for your kind protection. My mistress wanted me to present you with this gift. She hopes that you would be satisfied with it. Okay, give her my gratitude. The elf bows low and vanishes silently. Busy throne room today. Shirel. The half-elf is clearly embarrassed to be in the palace. He shuffles his feet and bows shyly. Greetings, your highness. Here, I've brought you something. Shirel bows as he hands you a bundle. Manticore's claws. Thank you. I hope to see more proof of your mastery in the future. The half-elf blushes and bows hurriedly. Shirel shifts from one foot to the other and then finally gets up the nerve to speak up. You've done so much for me, your highness. You cleared my name of slander, freed me from jail, gave me a chance to do my job with honor. Someone wiser than I would simply settle down and live a happy, quiet life. But there's a reason I was arrested at the outskirts of your domain. I don't want to discuss it here. Please come over to my village when you have a moment. We can talk there. Believe me, I have quite a story to tell you. Okay. And Shania. She's the, not the author, the idea person. I greet you, O most worthy one. As decided, I have stepped upon the path of the master smith, as fated by the perfect human. Since a rare few in these lands appreciate the aesthetics of the Vudrani, I have decided that my gifts will be made for you. However, even though my feet may carry me swiftly to the top of the mountain of perfection, on this path I shall need the help of someone tactful and dependable, someone such as you, O worthy one. If you are ready to aid me, come see me at my workshop and I shall tell you of my need. Alright, so we've got some people to visit. This looks like Turvel. Turvel greets you with a half bow. Your highness, please accept this new gift. Sure step. Thank you. And Varask is back. They're all catching up since it took us so long to build their workshops. Greetings. Yours is a strong army, King. And it seems you know how to keep an eye on those sneaky enemy scouts swarming around. But a little extra help wouldn't hurt, right? Here, take this. It's my gift. It's a good one. Retribution. And they just keep coming. Oh, most worthy one. I spend day and night listening to the stories that guests of my workshop bring to share. I decided to sort those stories and put them in 2 baskets. One for stories from local peasants and hunters, and another for stories of travelers from faraway lands. Surprised I was to see that the first basket stays empty all the time, while the other is almost full. While I was thinking about it, I took a walk in the forest. And I meant to jump over the forest stream, but being as how my mind was all distracted by my great basket mystery, I accidentally jumped too high and into the upper branches of a tall oak. And there they were, the stories that had been stolen from the first basket, all hidden in a magpie nest. Sitting on the oak branches, I asked the magpies why they stole from the basket of local stories and never touched the other. And the magpies told me that they love everything that's shiny and bright. And what could be shinier and brighter than your fellow neighbors discussing how they went to the stream to wash their clothes, or repaired their fence 3 years ago. Surely not the dusty stories of weary travelers. Ask yourself, a worthy one, why I told you this story. and this is your answer. I have reforged this story into the gift which I present to you now. Avalanche. We're picking up lots of gifts here. Jeez. Sherelle, good day, Your Highness. I received a curious reminder of my status as court artisan. A few preachers visited my workshop, praising you and expressing their gratitude for the warm welcome they've received in your lands. After they left, I decided to make a contribution to our common cause. Here's a special gift for you, Your Highness. I hope it will prove useful. Hermit's Rope. Wow. Nazriel is back. Oh, no. So instead of her assistants, she's here in person. Greetings, Your Highness. I've come to applaud the success of your rule. These wild lands grow more and more civilized, and my workshop thrives. I can obtain high-quality raw materials for my creations. I'd like to present to you one of my latest creations. It is the embodiment of things I have oft spoken. Lightest touch. Anybody else? Okay. Lightest touch. Some gloves. +6 to dexterity, +3 resistance to reflex saving throws, and the ability to cast Reduce Person at will as a 5th level wizard. That's cool. Hermit's Rope. +4 to wisdom and constitution, and the ability to cast Mass Bear's Endurance spell once per day. Avalanche. Sling Staff. Retribution. Great Axe. Nice damage on that. Magical Beast Bane. The ability to cast Eagle Soul spell once per day as a 14th level cleric. That's cool. Cain might have to try that out. Sure Step. +4 to combat maneuver defense. +4 enhancement to constitution and immunity to forced movement effects, slow and tripping. Manticore's Claws. +4 to strength, +2 bonus on attack and damage rolls with unarmed attacks and natural weapons. And Deceiver, a dagger. Okay. Is that the end of the gifts? Trickster's Gloves. +5 luck bonus on mobility checks and the ability to cast Cloak of Dreams spell once per day as a 14th level wizard. Okay, I think that was it. Okay. Well, we're back in the capital. We're going to leave the Spawn of Rovagug for another time. Maybe after we've leveled up again. I don't know. The only thing I could think that maybe we could do differently there would be to not move in so close to him and try to deal with the his summoned parasites first. But it appears that he continues to summon more of them even after we've killed them. So I don't know if that will work or not. Got some new issues here to deal with. Wow, Black Mass. Demelza, the hag matriarch of the Stroud Sisters Coven, has announced that their next gathering will take place in our very own woods. More and more hags are coming to the region to take part in the celebrations, which include some rather gruesome rituals. They'll be terrorizing the locals with all manner of vile deeds. We don't have a great person for that. 5%, 31 with a crisis point. I'm sure it's worth it. I don't know. I guess we can leave him on there at 5. I don't think I want to waste a crisis point when it only gets it up to 1 in 3. I guess is better than 1 in 20. All right. Fae tricks. Some Fae were having a wild night in one of the local settlements. In the morning, the king's servants discovered that they'd turned all the villagers into talking animals. They must be rescued at once. Oh, nobody good for that either. Jeez. I don't know if we're going to need these crisis points for the next chapter, like main quest. That just seems barely worth it. We'll start up this relic opportunity. Ragadon's eggs. 0%. We've got some region upgrades we can do, and this seems like a good time to maybe knock some of these out. So let's go ahead with this one. Silver Shield Fortress. It looks like this leads to some additional projects too, so maybe we should try to get these done. Triumph with the choking death problem. That's good. Boy, we got these two problems here with just nobody good to put on them. Just don't know if it's worth spending crisis points on those. Man, I think we're just gonna have to let those two go. Let's do this horse breeding center region upgrade. This gives us 20% improvement to our map movement speed. That'll be nice. Disaster without opportunity. Triumph with the Black Mass. Interesting. These, I wonder if these are... I don't know why these two didn't fail, which makes me wonder if these have to do with, like, our main quest or something. Maybe we have to do these. I was expecting two failures, and instead they just, like, carried over. So, I don't know. I guess we'll throw some crisis points there at least. Start those up. Interesting. Okay, this Aristil's Holy Place. +2 sacred bonus to attack and damage against animals and magical beasts within the kingdom. Also provides +5 bonus to lore nature checks while within the kingdom. That could definitely be useful. Start that one up. Wrath of the Forest. Woodcutters have encroached on a sacred grove, stoking the wrath of some treants who reside there. The enraged giants are now attacking anyone who enters the forest. Someone must make peace with the keepers of the grove or find another way to deal with them. Actually, decent success chance there. We'll start that one up. Population census. Druma's accountants, famous for their thorough nature, are offering their services in counting all the kingdom's subjects. The census will lead to the discovery of tax evaders, refugees, and criminals hiding from the authorities. Okay. Keston's on that. The Hungry Vassal. Some halfling, one of the major landowners in the area, has gotten into her head that she should rule the kingdom. What's more, she already has a whole army of mercenaries at her command. Her appetite should be kept in check. Okay, Bruin's on that. Alright, I'm going to make a quick check in the throne room, make sure nothing new is happening there. Nope. Let's take a look at our journal. Still need to find an emerald. I'm not sure where. I guess we could go look around Lake Silverstep. So we need to continue upgrading regions. We still have one region we haven't been able to add. I'm not sure what the requirement is for that. Oh yeah, we need to go talk to some of our artisans. Maybe we should go do that.
Without a doubt.
Let's go take a little trip around our kingdom to visit some of our workshops. I was hoping we would have quest markers to tell us which settlement we needed to go to, but apparently there are not, so we're gonna have to just visit them since I don't remember who lives where. Okay, here's Shania. I think she was one that wanted to talk to us. Shania is happy to see you, O most worthy one. Rest your legs and listen to my stories. That is, if you have nothing more important to do, such as assisting me in a delicate situation. Shania gives you a sly wink. What sort of help do you need? The Vujarni proffers a small scroll. This was written by my father. It was meant for a family that has lived for centuries near the home of my relatives in Absalom. Life has scattered us all across Golarion, but we never gave up hope of reuniting with those we once knew so well. My father asked me to pass this letter to a member of this fine family, if I should ever happen to stumble across one. As I have recently discovered, one of them lives nearby. The noble Hassif trades in your capital. I confess I am too nervous to meet him. I fear that my anxiety will cause me to behave inappropriately, and I may disgrace myself for it. Would you assist me in fulfilling my duty and deliver him this letter? I do not believe that my heart can be at peace until this letter is delivered. One cannot be a master when beset by such distraction. Okay. I'd like to know more about you. I'm flattered. Where should I begin? How'd you end up here? Have you heard of Rujakavala? High in the Vujarni Mountains lies the Adharm Monastery. Its monks are pious and devout. Their duty is to feed a dead man whose green-skinned body floats over a black metal altar as he meditates. Back when Rujakavala was alive, he was the vilest of the Rakshasa. However, one day he stepped upon a riverbank and became a seeker of truth, and thus he stood for 1,000 years, unmoved. Let's change the subject. With a barely audible sigh, Shania bows her head. It seems to me there are quite a few exaggerations in your stories. Oh, they often say this about the Vujarni. Know then that the gods have given me such a lesson in humbleness that it is quite against my nature to lie and spread falsehood. Have you ever been to Nizwan? It is the capital of the island of Jalmaray, the city of 1,000 rooftops, above which flutters 1,000 silk banners. Not water, but the finest wines flow from their magnificent jade fountains. There isn't a city more beautiful in this world, but Nizwan's greatest jewel is its house of perfection. Monasteries wherein the world's finest warriors train. Okay, we'll keep listening. Once the Monastery of the Unblinking Flame became jealous that the Monastery of the Unfolding Wind was known as the House of the Greatest Masters. Many turned down the invitations of the Unblinking Flame in order to join their white-robed rivals. The Monastery of the Unblinking Flame swore to make them pay for the insult. In the streets, the markets, and the palaces, the red-clad monks would insult the white ones, provoking them to bloody duels. Nizwan shook as if from an earthquake. Trust me, for I witnessed it myself. In fact, in that life, I was an arrogant master of the Unblinking Flame, and my pride demanded war. I knew that my days were numbered, and desired nothing but to see the Unblinking Flame triumph. In my arrogance, I could not see how much suffering I brought to the people. Those who were struck by a monk's fist fell and did not rise again, and those who were touched by a priest's finger were permanently crippled in body and mind. We fought with honor, seeking to demonstrate our mastery, not murder our enemy, while the townsfolk died by the thousands, and we did not care. Our students, however, secretly arranged the Tournament of Unseen Mercy, which took place on a bridge over an abyss. They fought, and it was agreed that the losers would be shown no mercy, and their bodies would be thrown down into the abyss. By dawn, the bridge was completely empty. It was then that we, the masters, saw how arrogance had weakened our houses and deprived us of our future. The ambitions of the past were all that remained. It was a bitter lesson, and it was then that I swore in all of my incarnations to be always humble and straightforward. I have since kept my promise, no matter how strongly I may wish to embellish my story. At times you are insolent towards me. The Vujarni stares at you in surprise. Insolent? I am a Raja, same as you. We are equals by caste. True, I hold no power, but what does that change? The sage Ulvantha told me a story. Once he was a groom to the moon herself, but he angered her with his rapturous nature, and was expelled from the plane of nirvana. Oh no, please stop. You are wise, a most worthy one, but not patient. That's about right. Let's do this another time. As you wish, so shall it be. I have many interesting stories for you. Do you enjoy living in my lands? This is a wondrous land. You have such strange cuisine. And kobolds? Incredible creatures. We do not have them in Vudra. And those insolent creatures, squirrels? I have never seen such fierce creatures. But this land lacks order. The gods granted Vudra castes. You have none here, and that is why there is no order. For when you meet a member of the lowest caste, you know that they only barely deserved to be born human. In their previous lives, they were animals, or maybe even a vile thing like kobolds, who are lower than even the lowliest beggars. Trust me, for I have more than once faced their wicked nature. Whereas when you encounter a member of a higher caste, be he a Padaprajna warrior or a Raja as you and I, that signifies that in our past lives we were pious and noble, that our words were strong and true. It is that understanding that these lands lack. Tell me of Vudra. Of the kingdoms of 1,000 wonders, where should I begin? Tell me of your homeland. Shania's eyes glisten, and her movements become so smooth it's as if she is beginning to dance. It takes her a moment to stop herself. Vudra is a land of wonders never seen in your realm, as witnessed by the 10,000 lines of Mizraverta Brahmodia, as recorded by the wise Balaz. Are you just making up these names as you go? Balazastran, from the words of the goddess Lika. Vudra is 50,000 years old. That means that it is far older than the rest of the world, which grew up around Vudra to become its outer mantle, like shells and weeds grow upon the bottom of a ship. It is the land of genie, monks, wondrous beasts, and gods, of course. Vudra is home to thousands of gods, while in other lands they worship mere dozens. The perfect human is the head of the pantheon. He is called Irori, the master of masters. Among the gods, he is a Maharaja, ruling Vudra and all of its Mahajanapadas, or kingdoms, as you call them. Each kingdom has its own Raja. The wealth and glory of even the feeblest among them is such that would make even the wealthiest of your rulers rage and envy. Trust me, for I was once a Rani myself. You've talked about the treasures of your homeland. How would one go about trying to find them? Sly smile crosses the Vudrani's face. Greed is a dangerous thing. Have you ever heard of the Consortium of Aspis, O worthy one? It is the union of the greediest merchants of all Cheliacs. The head of the consortium in Vudra learned of an abandoned palace of the princess Chaya, rumored to be filled with fabulous riches. He hired guides and porters and set out for the palace, and the treasures they found there exceeded their wildest expectations. But the robbery had not gone unnoticed. They had awakened an evil spirit that sped towards them, taking the form of a white cobra. The Aspies realized that they would pay dearly for their greed, and ran as fast as they could. The foolish Vudrani who had helped them ran as well. They built ships and fled their homes. Many turned to piracy, and you can find them still in the protectorate of the Black Marquise, now known as the Mandagara League. Woe is the fate of thieves and outcasts. Others settled in Kaer Maga in Varizia. It was they who took the pyramid box from the palace and hid it from the consortium. This box is covered in the finest oil and carried by dead men, and inside the box lives the child goddess. Trust me, for the child goddess spoke to me once and foretold that you and I were destined to meet. The Vudrani hope that the deity's protection will save them, but it is this box that the evil spirit seeks. It has since transformed into a demonic ship, and it comes into ports by night. Sailors who look like crocodiles search the towns, and the ship is gone by dawn. There will come a day when the ship finds Kaer Maga's port, and the Vudrani will pay dearly for their greed. Vudra knows how to protect its treasures, and it is best not to seek them, O worthy one. You were a ruler? Yes, I am of the Raja caste, although I have lost all my lands. Shania speaks in a sing-song manner as if she were reading a ballad or verse. I once disturbed an ancient city of the dead, one that lay hidden deep in the jungle. The great evil returned with me to my kingdom. The macaques of Sikari, diseased and rabid, swarmed the land. They rolled like an enormous wave, engulfing and destroying everything in their path. They called this horror the Crimson Wind. My warriors went forth boldly, but were overrun. The walls of my palace steadily absorbed their attack, but in the end, they turned to dust. I was preparing to die, but the red wind suddenly fled in terror, banished by a strange traveler. He was a Vanara, half man and half monkey, and he wore the orange robe of a priest. I wished to thank him, but he had little interest in my treasures. He offered me to play the wise men's game of Barm, and if he won, then I would have to give him my throne. I agreed, for how could I say no to my savior? He easily outwitted me, hiding 4 pieces up his sleeve while I only managed to brush one off the table and stash another one in my pocket. I ordered my guards to seize the Vanara and put him in chains, as I had no wish to give up my throne. But by dawn, the monk had fled his prison. He had used his tongue to lick a hole in his manacles. I knew then that the monk was Ragdaya, the monkey god, a sage, a petty thief, and the lover of 100 brides. Trust me, she says that a lot. For I have met many gods, and know of what I speak. I gave Ragdaya my throne along with my apologies, and set out to wander. Whew, okay. Shania, I think it's time to go. Till we meet again, a worthy one. It shall happen sooner than you think. The perfect human has told me. Okay, we need to deliver the letter back to Hasuf. Okay, we had a problem here. Finish up Ragadon's eggs. Success with that. Lost some BP. I guess she had to use that to, yeah. The treasurer was able to find a highly reputable, if expensive, water charmer. The spellcaster succeeded in his task, and all the Fae's eggs washed up onto the shore. The unborn dragons melted into the sand, decaying into nothing but black mold. Alright, let's deliver this letter here to Hasuf. Avijani asked us to give you this letter. She claimed that your families know each other. As soon as you finish speaking, Hasuf snatches the letter from your hands and immediately breaks the seal, quickly running his eyes along the lines. His face grows pale and his hands clench. He takes his time ripping the letter into tiny pieces, enjoying the process. Damn that disgusting wretch and that entire family. They decide to send me a letter as though I don't know that only poison trickles from their mouths. After calming down a bit, Hasuf turns to you. You probably did not know what was in the letter, all the better. You shouldn't burden yourself with a feud between families living on opposite sides of the world. You did your part, and I am grateful to you, at least for caring to deliver this letter to me, though it was written by traitors. Your intentions were pure, of that I am certain. Okay, so now we have to go back to talk to Shania. So let's travel back to was that Gnarlkeep? Tell Shania about Hasuf. Hasuf's reaction was quite unexpected. The Vujani will want to learn of this. She might be disappointed. She might even leave our lands forever. Or maybe she'll pay a visit to Hasuf and cut off his head. Perhaps it would be better to lie and tell her he was delighted by the letter. Interesting. What have we gotten ourselves in the middle of? Okay, back over here to Gnarlkeep. We did that project to improve our travel speed. I don't really notice the difference, but maybe it's quicker. Or maybe this isn't faster, it's just taking us less time. I guess that could be it.
I must replenish my power.
Okay, lady. I'm pleased to see you again, a worthy one. What brings you to me? Let's not endanger Hasuf's career in life. He was delighted to read your letter. Shania smiles joyfully. I knew that wise Hasuf would be most pleased to receive news from home. All of this reminds me of a wonderful story. I'm sure it does. One that took place a long, long time ago. Alright, well listen. There once lived a mighty warrior by the name of Korkor. His mother was a white shark, and his father the most lustful, the most inventive of all mortals. Korkor inherited his fearlessness from his father, and from his mother his strength and thirst for blood. His skin was as white as milk, and his sharp, crooked teeth grew in 3 rows. There wasn't a warrior in the world who was stronger or more warlike, and he served the Maharaja loyally. But one day, Korkor defeated the poisonous dragon Sruvara, who turned rice fields into nauseating marshes. But Korkor did not notice that Sruvara had scraped his white skin with its talon. Infection entered the hero's body, and he grew weak. He lied down to rest and remained there for 1,000 years. Nothing could awaken him, even all the strife brought on by the fight with Kothogaz, the dance of disharmony. Once he finally awoke from his slumber, Korkor discovered that his homeland had been ravaged by this terrible attack, and he'd slept through the battle. Disgraced, he moaned and set off for a faraway gorge, where he would deliver his body to the scorpions, that they might eat his flesh and hide him from his shame. For 3 months, the scorpions ate his white skin and ruby flesh, but still the warrior endured. Even when he was eaten, Korkor did not die, for he was truly great. It was then that Bunda, the singing butcher, came to him. The immortal Rakshasa told him that great was Korkor's shame, but more shameful still would be to run from it like a coward, rather than atone for it. Korkor's spirits were rekindled. He arose and, through sheer force of will, forged himself a new body out of iron. He accomplished many great deeds thereafter, and in the end, he regained his position of honor and nobility. This story teaches us that however long and difficult the most worthy path may be, happiness, honor, and triumph always lie at the end of it. Our family has feuded with the Hassaf for many centuries. Many of his kinsmen were slain by our hand. Once we destroyed almost all of them, but we gained wisdom and sought a truce. I'm glad that this news brought joy to the wise Hassaf, for he was noble enough to recognize suffering as a sign of enlightenment, for which we work so tirelessly. In doing both good and evil, go now, O worthy one, for my heart has gained peace and my mind attained clarity, which is so important to a true master. Until we meet again, O worthy one, it shall happen sooner than you think, the perfect human has told me. Okay. Ensure that nothing distracts Shania. How are we supposed to do that? Shania has returned to her craft. Let's hope that nothing gets in her way this time. Oh, okay, I didn't know we were going to have so much to do with these craftsmen. So we've still got Sharel to go talk to, and Nazriel, and Varask, all while we wait for the Ancient Curse, which is still 169 days away. And if we can somehow run across an emerald, we can take care of that for Mim at Lake Silverstep. Okay, well, we didn't have luck with the Spawn of Rovagug, but we did get to speak to some of our citizens and take care of some errands for them. Thanks for being with me here in the Stolen Lands. I really appreciate it, and hope to see you again next time. Bye-bye.